Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Manu from Piano Sight Reading, where I give sight reading tips to piano players. Now, recently I interviewed Julian Zalla. He's a PhD student in mathematics and a piano player, and he's the creator of the YouTube channel Gamma1734. And on this channel he publishes score videos of unknown and obscure composers. And I had this fascinating interview with him. It was meant to go for 30 minutes, but we lost track of time and we went for 60 minutes. Now, from this interview, I've extracted some of the most relevant parts for you for this video. You're going to hear Julian's opinion on perfecting pieces, on how he edits videos for his YouTube channel, and also his advice when it comes to improving sight reading. So let's play that interview. And so you did concerts, did you also do exams and things like that?
You mean music exams or something?
Yeah.
Nothing at all. I think I did a test when I was, I don't know, 13 or something, but it had no relevance for anything, basically. I did some competitions, so, yeah, a couple of times, but yeah, my experience was not that. I've always been more an amateur, so this is really correlated also to my sight reading, because for me, it's very hard to play a piece 100%. So I could always play something 80%. And when I play for myself, it's like millions of errors, but I kind of ignore them because in my head, I know how it should sound, you know. But if you're in a competition, then you don't want to have 20 errors. You want to have one error at most.
Yeah.
And I remember there were passages where until I was on the competition, didn't figure out the fingering because I was just I have like this a block in my head and I never do it, and then it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it kind of whatever, you know. This is not professional. If it's professional, I should really be okay, exactly know every time what I do. And I can't play without sheets, for example, also because it's like takes too much time to be so long with a piece. Like the tempo I went through pieces has been really high, has been always high, but now it's like really, I play a piece and then I basically never play it again. So it's a little bit crazy, but this doesn't work at all with a professional way of doing it. So when people say, okay, sometimes people comment negative, like, oh, this is so bad, or it sounds so amateur. And I'm not offended at all because it's really amateur, and I'm really appreciating the professionals who do this all the day and practice that stuff, because it's just different what I do, you know?
Yeah. I feel like there's two kinds of musicians. There are the musicians who really specialize and they do fewer pieces, but like 100%.
Yes, right.
And then you have other musicians like yourself and like myself who, rather than do, you know, some pieces 100%, they do thousands of pieces 90% or something. So
yeah, right.
like these two groups of people.
It's a general principle that if you have to, isn't it, I don't know how the principle is called, but if you want to get to the 100%, it's more time and more time for the last percent. And for me, this has been, to be honest, it has been always a bit boring and just takes the fun out of it so much. I play other instruments too, by the way. I play recorder and violin. I played many years, and I play organ and accordion. But piano was always the main thing, but I was always open to play instruments. And I had this recorder teacher, flute teacher, you know, and she was really, I played a piece with Telemann, 5 minutes. And if there was one error, she basically said, okay, let's just try again, you know. So, and then we played this piece like one hour, and then the lesson was over. So for me, that's just ineffective. Or I mean, that's a professional thing, to be professional, to be perfect. It's good to be perfect and so on. But yeah, I'm really in this lucky position that I can do the YouTube, and I have the PC. I can edit mistakes. You know, if I play 7-minute piece and I have a mistake in the end, I just edit it, because realistically, I
you can do that.
Yeah, I added the notes. And in the beginning, I added really a lot of notes because I had like 2 subscribers, first thing, and I had a keyboard which was $100. So I knew what I can do on a real brand, and I had this cheap, unweighted thing. So I thought, okay, honestly, I can edit it in such a way. I never edited things so in the sense that I couldn't play it like that. So I don't know how to say it. I always wanted to edit it in such a way, like I felt I really could pull it off on a grand without problem or with a little bit of studying. So this was just my personal thing. I never wanted to, play random wrong notes and then edit it perfectly because it takes too much time, one. And second, it's just not what I wanted to do. I always wanted to record it and just straight to YouTube. But because the life is difficult, there are always external parameters, problems. So that's how I do it.
I'm just wondering how it works. So do you use a special software to, like, do you alter the pitch of the note? Is that?
Yeah, so I've always had e-pianos, electronic pianos, digital pianos, and so on. Now I have a hybrid piano, which is this mixture of upright and, electronic piano. And I have a cable, which is just a USB cable, which goes from the thing to the PC. And in the PC, I have plugins, so basically when I play in the piano, the information is captured, everything I do, what I press, how quickly I press it, which pedal I press, and so on. And this information is stored, and the cable, it goes to the PC. And in the PC, there are these VST plugins, which are samples, and then they play back this information with high quality samples. And in my computer, I can see the notes I played. It's like a visualization of what I did. It's in the piano roll. In my software I use, it's called piano roll, which is like a piano here vertically. And then I can see the notes which I played. And then if I want to change something, I just drag it up or down. Or if I want to change the length, I just drag it longer or shorter.
It's a bit like GarageBand, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
But a little bit more expensive than a professional thing, but which I bought in the very beginning of this whole thing, 2018. But it's very helpful.
Okay, interesting.
So maybe I should say something about sight reading. So a lot of people have asked me also in live streams, can't you do a video where you talk about that and it helps and so on? So for me, always, if I do a video, I wanted it to be very concise, where I just say, okay, this helps, this helps, this helps. And so to make an effective video. I am not good at effective because I always talk lengthy, or I don't know. So it's been different. And then also really it's hard to point down what really is the thing that helps for me, or what I see as helpful to sight read. One thing I know is if you just play a lot of music, if you don't stay at one thing, you will, especially, for example, let's say romantic music, then you will just learn the harmonic progressions. It's just a certain amount of harmonic progressions. You will see if a piece like I played today, I think this F minor piece from the 30s. And then if you have F minor, in my head, when I start the piece, even before I play anything, like subconsciously I have C major, I have B flat major, and I have A flat major and things like that, which are like already stored. So when I start to play the piece, I sight read it, I know, okay, we will have now the dominant, we will have subdominant, we will have something like that. So I struggle a lot with modern music because when I play Prokofiev, it's like, okay, I can play the first measure, but then what happens in the second measure, and I have no, and then I even don't know, oh, is it even right what's written there? And and my CPU uses a lot of that thing. So what are you using your CPU for? Is the question a little bit. And many, many years, I couldn't sight read with both hands at the same time. So I remember right now that I try to play the right hand at least, and then the left hand separately. And then for me, it took a long time to play both. It's like always the same a little bit in romantic. Like if you have a nocturne, you have this left hand, which is down, bum, 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 bum. If you have a mazurka, you will have I don't know, bum, ba-dum. The left hand has this boom, bum, bum, boom, bum, bum. If it's an A minor, it will be an E major in some measures also. So it's just an experience thing, which helps a lot, so that your CPU has more space to look a little bit also in the next measure. I think Formula 1 drivers? Or these race cars, Formula 1 or
F1 maybe?
F1, let's say F1. I heard that how they drive, because they are so quick, you know, they have to be very quick. And when we sight read, have to be quick too. I heard they basically look into the next corner already. A normal person would look into this corner, but they kind of look they already look in the next corner. So when I sight read something, then I try to look in already in the next measure in some sense.
So for all the members who are, more at the start of their journey, what advice would you give when it comes to sight reading?
This is a difficult question, of course, because everybody has a different background, everybody has a different technique, and also the way you approach the music is different for everybody, because sometimes you can say, do this, do that, but it will just have a different effect. I think you need to be sure or realize what your level is, what you can play. Like, look at things you can do, look at things you can't do, and to just see, okay, this is what I can. Because sometimes people, I think, also watch my channel, or they try to difficult things. You shouldn't force it. It doesn't make fun. It's if you just try to play something so hard, it's just frustrating. And this is just because really, this is something I learned also. There is so much music, very beautiful, nice music at almost every level. And everybody just plays, this is another thing. I don't know, what do people play? Czerny, or how do they call them? The standard things which everybody plays. And it's like, but there are from Russia, for example. Yeah, right, things like that. But there are so many, there are like literally hundreds of children's piano books with nice, melodic, beautiful pieces which help you to improve your sight reading, because the level is not that high. It separates left and right hands. Yeah, so I would suggest to play these things, to improve with these things.
So what did you think? What were your biggest takeaways from the interview? Please share them in the comments. This interview is one of many more to come for members inside my membership, the Sight Reading Club. All the interviews are recorded and the replays are available for members to watch. And when you join, you will get access to these videos as well. If you want to learn more about the Sight Reading Club, then I invite you to go to this link where you can join the waitlist to be first notified when the doors reopen again. And don't forget to check out Julian Zalla's YouTube channel and to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Happy sight reading!